and appreciate it. So can Republicans turn tomorrow's elections into a referendum on bloated government? Or maybe the Blue Dogs can do that. Mark Levine is a Democratic analyst. He joins us now from Washington, D.C. And Andrea Tantaros is a Republican strategist. And Andrea, do Republicans get it?
Well, turning it into a referendum?
Do they understand how mad the public is about the idea that government seems to be on anybody's control?
No question. I think they get it. Do they turn this into a referendum? If they win in Virginia, which I think they will, in New Jersey and upstate New York, I think they will try. But there's a reason why these races are playing out. And it's not just one thing. I think it's a mix of three. One, I think the Democrats in every race that we're talking about, even down to New York City mayor, is a weak candidate. In Virginia, in New Jersey, Corzine can't even get 23% of Democrats in his own state to vote for him. In upstate New York, the same thing. Here in New York City, the same thing. The Democrat Bill Thompson, just not as strong. Two, I think there's Barack Obama.
Well, now, wait a minute. You're calling Mayor Bloomberg, a Republican?
No, but he's not the Democrat. He's the independent, which I'll get to the independent point later. Two, I think there's Obama skepticism. You and I both know you can't spend billions of dollars and then have unemployment go up. And three, I think the Republicans, particularly in Virginia and in New Jersey, but more so in Virginia, have come out with a jobs and an economy message. And that's why Hoffman, I think, is pulling ahead in upstate New York, because they are taking the jobs and the economy mantra, the big government mantra that you discussed, and they are throwing that against their Democrat. And that's
well, Mark, do you think that I and other conservatives are making too much of the idea of a bloated government? That is, do you think it's a bad issue on which to base a campaign?
I think it's ironic. I think if we had a bigger government, the Democrats would be doing better. You see, we're in a recession right now.
Hold on a second. Hold on, Mark. We haven't had a government this big since World War II. It's a 12% deficit that we're running now. You think we should have a bigger government?
That's exactly right. Any economist will tell you that in bad times, you need more government spending. In good times, you need less government spending. The problem with the Republicans is they spent a lot in good times.
They did.
They ran up the deficit.
They did. It's true. But again, do you think the public, I mean, I could argue with you on economic theory, being a Friedmanite economist, but the fact is, do you really think that the public believes that a bigger government that we have now would be better for the country?
No, I don't think the public understands it all. But my Harvard economist professors would be very upset with me if I didn't say the truth, which is that you need to spend more money in bad times.
Yeah, but the fact
that Harvard, you know, I didn't go to Harvard, but I can even say that, Mr. Levine, you are wrong.
The electorate, the bottom line is the electorate of the American people is more than just the Harvard professors.
That's absolutely right.
No, but here's the
I don't think they think, Mark, hold on a second, Mark. I don't think they think, I'm talking about they meaning the voting public, believe that we need a bigger government than what we have right now. Do you?
I think that you'll find that when the Republicans are in charge, they want a bigger government. When the Democrats are in charge, they want a bigger government.
That's not what
I
asked, Mark. Hold on. Answer the specific question. Does the American public now think that government is too small?
It depends who you talk to, right? Liberals want a bigger government right now because the government's going to do things liberals want, like provide children health care. When the Republicans are in charge, they want a bigger government because it'll do things like they want, like wars. It's very simple, really.
But again, finally, I got to press you on this, Mark.
Okay.
The American public, I mean, there are polls out there, and most of the polls that I see say the government is either too big or big enough as it is. You see things differently.
Look, the stimulus package, as you remember, was made smaller because Republicans insisted on it having less aid to the states. What does that mean? That means in states like Virginia and New Jersey that have to balance their budgets, they've got to raise taxes or cut spending. It makes it harder for people. They suffer hard times. They vote against the incumbent.
I think I just hallucinated still from the last segment where he said that more spending and bigger government, more Americans want that in their lives. That's absolutely not true. And you know what? You don't need a Harvard degree to tell you that. Look at history. I mean, look at the New Deal. The New Deal is not what got us out of the Great Depression. It was World War II.
It is.
No, it's not. Take your Harvard Mumbo-Jumbo and look, I didn't have to spend all that money on a degree to say that was wrong. The American public, and this transcends all polls, any poll, particularly independents, say there's way too much spending going on. And in elections, David, that's really what matters tomorrow. Watch the independents, watch where they go.
Last word, Andrea. Mark, thank you so much for coming in. From chronic inefficiency to outright fraud, the government spends and wastes billions of tax dollars.